Hi, welcome back to the channel. Today I want you to go on a journey with me, and that is we're going to read the book of Daniel. The book of Daniel is an interesting book. It is a prophetic book. It's broken down in two parts, okay? It's historical and it's prophetic. And this would have been written by the author himself, whose name the book is after, which is the prophet Daniel, and Jesus mentioned him also as being the author of this book. He would have lived during this time, which would have been about, it says, 6 BC. All right, he was taken captive in about 606 BC, and he lived through the Medo-Persian reign, which began in 538 BC. And so before we get started, if you're new here, please subscribe, hit that post notification bell, hit the thumbs up button, and share the video. All right, thank you. Let's get started. The book of Daniel, which is, I think we're going to do, I may not be able to do, let's see, chapters 10, 11, and 12. And I hate that I'm not going to be able to illustrate, because this book is so full of illustrations to help you understand the symbols. The fact that I'm not able to do that might make it a little difficult. So I didn't want to get into the last part of the book, which gets a little bit more difficult and a little bit more historical. I don't know if I could do it justice trying to go through 10 and 11. I might be able to do 12, but I don't know. We'll see. But just come along with me and let's read together Daniel chapter 1. All right. So in the third year of the reign of Jehoiakim, king of Judah, came Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, unto Jerusalem to besiege it. So let's talk about this. It was the third year of Jehoiakim. He was the king of Judah. Now Israel was divided at this point into two divisions. The northern kingdom, which was the 10 tribes, and the southern kingdom were the 2 tribes. And Judah, Israel was called the northern kingdom. When they were all united, it was all Israel. Okay. When they divided, the northern kingdom was called Israel and the southern kingdom was called Judah. Now remember, Judah is the tribe that Jesus comes through. All right. And so this is the third year of the reign of King Jehoiakim. He's king of Judah, and now Babylon has come. King Nebuchadnezzar has come and taken the city and taken him captive with his people. And it says it besieged it. Now, besiegement is, Jerusalem was a walled city, just like Babylon was a walled city. Babylon was a wonder of the world. The walls, they said, were so thick that 2 chariots could ride on top. So that's like a highway, all right? Because chariots were pretty big. So it was like a highway. It was a thick wall, and it was considered to be impregnable. We're going to get to that later on in the chapter. So they besieged Jerusalem, meaning they surrounded Jerusalem, surrounded walls. They can't come out. They've got to come out of their city to do travel, merchandise, just trade. But they're going to, it's like smoking them out. They're going to keep them inside, and they can't come out, because if they come out, they're going to get captured. So they do this for a while until the people have to give up. So let's continue, verse 2. And the Lord gave Jehoiakim, king of Judah, into his hands, Nebuchadnezzar's hands, with part of the vessels of the house of God, which he carried into the land of Shinar to the house of his God. And he brought the vessels unto the treasure house of his God. So he captures Jerusalem, he takes the king, but he also takes the vessels from the sanctuary, from the Most High, the things that the Most High, that was used in the service to the Most High. This here is a symbol of Nebuchadnezzar being able to say, listen, my God is bigger and better than your God, because I've captured you, and now I've captured the things that you worship with your God. This is what this is symbolizing. And the king spake unto Ashpenaz, the master of the eunuchs, that he should bring certain of the children of Israel and the king's seed and of the princes, children in whom was no blemish, but well favored and skilled in all wisdom, and in cunning knowledge and understanding, science, and such as had ability in them to stand in the king's palace, and whom they might teach the learning of the tongue of the Chaldeans. Listen, he said, "Give me the best. I want you to get the children of Israel, certain ones, means the royalty, the children's, the royal family seed. I want you to take them that have no blemish. They got to be not crippled, disabled. I want them to be well favored. I want them to be the smart ones. Give me the bright ones, good in knowledge and understanding science." And he wants to take them in his school, and he's going to train and teach them their language. All right. And the king appointed them a daily provision of the king's meat. Now, in the King James, it uses meat. This is an old English word, and it means food. It doesn't necessarily mean flesh, even though he ate flesh. But the word meat in the Old Testament is referring to food. So he ate a portion of the king's food and of the wine which he drank, so nourishing them 3 years, that at the end thereof they might stand before the king. So they're going to be in school and training for 3 years. They're going to learn the language. They're going to eat the king's food, drink the king's wine, and then they're going to be tested. All right. At the end, they're going to have their test. Now, among these were of the children of Judah. This were the children some of the children that are named: Daniel, Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah. These 4 young men are the center. Okay, these are the ones that we're going to be focusing on. Unto whom the prince of the eunuchs gave names. For he gave Daniel the name of Belteshazzar. Look, taking Israel into captivity, this is not something that's new. It continues to happen to this day. Took our ancestors into captivity and changed the names, gave us the names of the captives, okay, instead of the names that were our ancestors had. So this is what's happening here with Daniel. The name was given to him, Belteshazzar. They're naming them after their gods. The names that they have are Hebrew names, and their names are after Yahweh. So Daniel was called Belteshazzar. Hananiah was called Shadrach. And this is amazing to me because this is who and how we remember them, by their Babylonian names. And Mishael was Meshach, and Azariah was Abednego. Now, so they come. These are the 4 that are we're looking at. And verse 8 says this: "But Daniel purposed in his heart that he would not defile himself with the portion of the king's meat or food, nor with the wine which he drank. Therefore he requested of the prince of the eunuchs that he would not defile himself." So Daniel purposed in his heart, said, "Listen, I'm not going to eat this food because I know it's not healthy. I'm not going to drink the wine because I know that the Most High has said that wine is a mocker and strong drink is raging, and whoever is drinking it is not wise." So he decided, I'm not going to do this. So he requested of the prince of the eunuchs that he might not eat this way. Now, God had brought Daniel into favor and tender love with the prince of the eunuchs. For some reason, this young man, the eunuch, was brought into favor with him, but God did it. Okay, put that in the eunuch's heart. And the prince of the eunuchs said unto Daniel, "I fear my lord the king, who hath appointed your meat and your drink. For why should he see your faces worse looking than the children which are of your sort? Then shall ye make me endanger my head to the king." The eunuch is saying, listen, the king is the one that's make this decision, not me. And if I don't let you eat and then you start looking poor and sickly, I will be in trouble. Then Daniel said to Melzar, whom the prince of the eunuchs had set over Daniel, Ananiah, Mishael, and Azariah, prove thy servants, I beseech thee, 10 days, and let them give us pulse to eat and water to drink. From what I understand, pulse are like seeds, which I would think would be more like sprouts, because that has a lot of nourishment. If you sprout seeds and beans, you have a lot of nutrients as opposed to eating them the way they are. Then let our countenance be looked upon before thee, and the countenance of the children that eat of the portion of the king's meat. And as thou seest, deal with thy servants. So here he's saying, listen, just give me 10 days to eat like this, and then compare us to the other of our students, the other students who are also Israelites. And if we fare better than they, then so be it. But if we don't, then we go back, right? So he consented to them in this manner, and proved them 10 days. And at the end of the 10 days, their countenance appeared to be fairer and fatter in flesh than all the children which did eat the portion of the king's meat. So in 10 days, they were eating sprouts, beans, vegetables, whatever it was, and drinking water, and they ended up looking better than the others. Thus Melzar took away the portion of their meat and the wine that they drank, and gave them pulse. So they were able to eat that way for the rest of their training. As for these 4 children, God gave them knowledge and skill in all learning and wisdom, and Daniel had understanding in all visions and dreams. Now, at the end of the days that the king had said he should bring them in, then the prince of the eunuchs brought them in before Nebuchadnezzar. This is at the end of the year. The schooling time is up. They're training, and now they've got to do their thesis and report to the king. The king communed with them, and among them all was found none like Daniel, Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah. Therefore stood they before the king. They were the top of their class, valedictorian. They were on par with everything, and the rest of the class didn't measure up to them at all. In all matters of wisdom and understanding that the king inquired of them, he found them 10 times, listen to this, 10 times better than all the musicians and astrologers that were in all his realm. And Daniel continued even until the first year of King Cyrus. Now it ends like this, and it's interesting because it says it goes into saying that he reigns even unto King Cyrus. But way before we get to King Cyrus, we're going to learn how he fared under King Nebuchadnezzar. All right, so we're going to stop here with Daniel chapter 1, and we're going to continue on with our study to see how these 4 young men fare. So please stay with me. You're going to enjoy this. If you've never read the book of Daniel, you come along with me and you're going to read this book of Daniel. You're going to see some wonderful things that happen and that will happen in the future, because like I said, this book is historical and it's prophetic. So we're going to get the historical part of what happened, and we're going to see the prophetic part of what will happen in the future. All right. So we're going to stick with this. And until the next time, may the grace and peace of God our Father and the Lord Jesus Christ be with you all again until we see you next time. Shalom.